Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's your old pal, Mr. Butter, coming back at you. And I'm shooting this on Saturday afternoon. I was fortunate enough to get exclusive access to my local Finish Line so that I could pick up a pair of the Jordan 6 Retros in University Blue in my own personal size. I was actually able to get a grade school pair as well. This is one of my favorite shoes to release so far this year. I don't like to say I needed to have it, but for me, this was a must cop, and I'm glad I got it for retail because I probably would have paid resale prices if I missed out on this thing altogether. Earlier, they did a shock drop of this shoe, and I was on the app early on my account and my wife's account. I struck out on both accounts at that time, so I was really relieved to be able to pick up my own pair from Finish Line. If you're into kicks and you feel like hanging out, then hit that subscribe button. Let's look at these University Blue Jordan 6s. Alright, so like always, I like to start out with the box. I love seeing that they coordinated the box with the shoe. And of course, it's this Carolina blue or University blue color on the top. It's got the white Jumpman. Seems like it's oversized. But it's just real nice and clean looking. Those colors go so well together. Definitely gives you Tar Heel vibes right off the bat. It's the flip top lid. It's got that cement print there on the bottom as well as on the paper. And the tag reads Air Jordan 6 Retro. The colors are University Blue, white, and black. The retail price on these was $210. And just for quick reference, the GS pair didn't come in a color coordinated box. With as much as they're charging for them, they could have given us the better looking box, but I'm not going to gripe about that. Here's a look at the tag on those Air Jordan 6 Retro GS. And the price on these was $150. But then nobody's here to see the boxes. Look at these. Ooh. Man, I knew right away when I saw images of these, being primarily white and that Carolina blue with just little hits of black here and there. I have the Carmines, and the Carmines are probably my favorite 6 of all time, but these aren't far behind them. I mean, if it weren't for the history and the nostalgic aspect of the Carmines and me remembering Jordan playing in them, these would probably be my favorite. As far as being like wearable, I would probably prefer these more, but the Carmines still hold the top spot just because of the memories that I have of a kid of those shoes. But I'm very glad I was able to hit on these because, like I said, if not with blue being my favorite color and just how well these shoes came out, I probably would have paid resale prices for them. I don't know what resale prices are going to get to, but I think right now they're sitting at like around $100 over retail for bigger sizes. I don't know if it'll stay like that. It's kind of hard. A lot of times they dip down, but since they already did that shock drop and the sneakers app released like 70,000 pairs or whatever, I don't know if prices will dip anymore. I don't like to forecast that stuff anyway because nobody knows what it's going to do. I just know I'm glad I didn't have to pay resale for them. That blue and the white and little hits of black, these shoes look so good to me. I would definitely spray them before I wore them just because it's got that nice nubuck all over it. It kind of has the feel of like the blue nubuck on the University Blue ones. It's nice. You get a lot of movement out of it. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it's a nice feeling material, and even the white leather is pretty good on these. Also, here's a look at the grade school pair. it also came out pretty good. It seems like the paint isn't quite as neat as what it is on the adult pair, but they definitely don't look shabby. There's nothing like screaming at me, and there's not any glue or anything on this nice new buck. But just for your reference, this is a size 6.5 grade school, and here's the adult pair. So they look very close. But starting with his outsole, it's the standard Jordan 6 tread pattern, and I've always thought that was really neat. At the time that these came out, it just looked like something from the future, and even now it still has a modern look to it, even though this is a retro shoe from way back, early 90s. The majority of it is this bright white, and then of course you have this icy blue translucent material here under the forefoot, and then also back here behind the heel, and we've got a Carolina blue Jumpman there in the middle. Coming up, you can see that icy blue kind of wraps up and meets a white and black midsole. There you can see that icy blue material around the visible air unit, and I think it's neat that the inside of that is all just bright white. Looks nice and clean. But then you can see the rest of the midsole is just painted white and black, and the paint looks pretty sharp. Not a whole lot of paint where it shouldn't be or whatever. But then coming up from that, this is probably my favorite thing about the shoe, is just this nice light blue nubuck. And like I mentioned, you get some movement out of it. I don't know if that translates on camera. I can see it here in person, but sometimes it's hard to capture that. But anyhow, it just has a really nice feel. It feels like it's quality, and it looks really clean. But you have that for the base of the upper, and then you've got these bright white leather overlays, and that material is also really nice. It doesn't feel like super soft or anything, but it feels like it's quality material. Like, it reminds me of like thicker leather on 85s or something like that, like the neutral gray 85s. That leather wasn't super soft, but you could tell that it was definitely quality. And this is a lot of the same. You can see some real faint little ripples up there around like this ankle pod, and I think as you wear these, they'll probably age really well. I like this tag on the back. I didn't care for it on the University Blue 4s on the tongue, but somehow I really like the way it looks on the heel. I don't know if it's just the difference in placement or what, but I think it works better on this shoe. And then you have that classic heel tab there that's black, and it's got that University Blue stripe. The tongue is like a black, it kind of feels like a neoprene material, but if you've had a Jordan 6 before, then you know how that feels. And then it's got this Carolina blue hit on the here on the tongue, and it's got a black Jumpman. And then I think the lace lock is like a navy blue with a white Jumpman, but it all just goes together really well. I like the way the tongue is transparent. It like matches that icy blue outsole, and there at the top you can see it says Air Jordan. But I like the way that the pattern on the back here, I like the way that you can see that shining through this translucent material on the front of the tongue. But it looks like they gave us a black sock liner, and the insole kind of has that design like we get on the back of the tongue, a lot like what the Air 6s had, which I think that design is from 7s originally, but I think it's neat that they threw it in here. But let me know what you think of them. I'm out.